What up, what up, what up? Tony Bucks, Dama Waxel. Y'all see the title. Friday. Seven days till this fight goes down. Let's see who wants to talk about it. Be waiting to see, let everybody pull up. Whoever wants to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Comment who you want to win. How do you see it going? Let's talk about it. Mexico versus Cuba. We'll be talking about other fights as well, but you know what I'm saying? Let's wait for the people to pull up if they want to talk about it. And regardless, I'll be talking about it. And these days leading up to the fight, December 7th. Yes, so just be giving my opinion on it and who I think is gonna win. Yes, Arizona rematch, a rematch card. Let me know. Let me know who you think is gonna win and what you think of the fights. Rafael Espinoza, El Divino, taking on in the rematch Robeisy, El Tren Ramirez, two-time Olympic gold medalist. What's going on? What's going on? Good day to everybody that's in here. You know what I mean? Good Friday. Sup, man. Hope everybody's having a great day. And keep pushing on this Friday. Everybody should be having a good day for being Friday, so you know what I mean? You can't go wrong with the weekend. And I'm really excited about this fight. Yes, sir. I'm really excited about this fight. So last time around, I was riding Divino off, so had to make lives on it. So my Thanksgiving was great. Hopefully everybody's was too. You know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hopefully everybody was with their loved ones, having a very good meals. So muy bien, muy bien. Aquí estamos haciendo videos. Yes, now it's on to Christmas for sure, but hopefully everybody, had a good Thanksgiving either way. Thank you for coming to the channel. If it's your first time, you know what I mean. Hopefully you enjoy the content, and that's what it's about. Giving content, give my point of view, and in this boxing thing. So, saludos, Cañas, Mexico. Yes, yes, yes. And I do live in a place that snows, so I mean, the snow's cool, So, and it is cold, but the code ain't nothing. But like I'm saying, if you're new here, this what boxing is what we talk about. Only boxing. Sometimes MMA, but it's mostly boxing. And as y'all seen the title, we're gonna be talking about Divino Espinoza versus Robeisy Ramirez. And it didn't fit in the title, but you know we gonna push in some other fights in there as well, like a little bit of Benavidez Morel, Valdez Navarette. So you know, just know that's what we're gonna be talking about. A card that's about rematches, the Robesi and Divino rematch, Carlos Carlos Valdez, Oscar Valdez versus Navarette, both rematches, and I wanna know what y'all think about these fights. These fights that are made coming up, and it says hustle hard, man. That's what we do. That's what we about in everything. So, yes, you know what I mean. Great fights, especially the ones in December 7th. Um, especially the Cubans is really the ones that were bugging for this rematch since their boy got beat up. You know what I mean? Since their two-time Olympian got beat up twice. You really look up to Jake Paul, dude? Nah, never that, bro. I know. No, I just knew he was gonna win. Obviously, you know who I knew was gonna win, and that's who won, which was Jake Paul. It's not that I look up to him or nothing. It's just, come on, man. If you watch the boxing game, you know what it is. Versus a young heavy man versus a old heavy man. So it's just logic, bruh. So that's so if you think I look up to Jake Paul, nah. I think I think he's not the greatest for boxing, but the thing is he puts a lot of eyes in boxing, and that helps the boxers, the fighters, that come up from poor backgrounds and puts money into the pocket. So I mean, I can't hate on that. And he also, gets helps these retired fighters that he fights and the wash fighters that he fights get a bag. So I mean, you can't hate on that. Even though he picks his fights, but that's why when he fought a fighter like Tommy Fury, he got beat. You know what I mean? So I mean, hey, I don't know what all about Jake Paul's like. I don't really watch him like that. I just know who he is since he's in the YouTube game, like myself. So a lot of times I'm on YouTube. So I mean, only because of that, but he's really lit on social media. So I mean, yeah, of course I know about him. I don't know too much. All I know, he has his own promotional company, and he has some fighters signed to him like Amanda Serrano. But that's it. I don't really keep up with him other than he gets a lot of traffic to boxing. So I mean that's always good. But I mean he gets a lot of people. Like I said, he brings a lot of eyes to boxing. So it is what it is. Love him or hate him, he's gonna be here doing his thing. And for being the star that he is, he's getting paid like one. So even more than a lot of the stars in boxing. So you have a lot of fighters willing to fight him and even calling him out. So You know, he got Mike Tyson paid, then 20 million. So a lot of fighters for sure will be wanting to fight him in the future. So, but that's on Jake Paul, bro. You know, I am not a fan for none, like, cause I know what he is. He's not. I mean, he's a decent fighter, cause that's what he does. And if you have the money, you can train enough to become really decent. So I mean, that's what Jake Paul's doing. So he has the bread, and that's how he's able to become a decent fighter. Training with top notch people in boxing, trainers, top notch sparring. So, you know, if you have the money, you can become a right fighter, maybe even elite, if depending, depending on your talent. And well, hey, y'all know, you see the title. That's what we're talking about. But people, I mean, they're trying to comment something that's not. So I'm just letting it be known. I mean, I have ish to do today. I mean, I do have some things to do, but right now I have some time to talk boxing. So y'all see the title. That's what we're talking about. Divino Espinoza versus the Cuban Robeisy Ramirez. And the rest of the things that I'm gonna be talking about didn't fit in the title, which is the rematches, Ramirez, Tren Ramirez versus Divino, Valdez versus Navarette, and the fight Benavidez versus Morel. A little bit, you know what I'm saying? But especially about these rematches for the December 7th next weekend. You know, I'm hyped because, like I was saying before, you know, I seen that comment about the YouTuber. I'm hyped. I'm hyped because, like I said, the Cuban media, the fans think um, the Divino win was a fluke, but they will be sad once again December 7th once he gets defeated again by Divino. Just, and it's my opinion, you know, I'm not saying that's what's gonna happen. That's just what I feel is gonna happen. Uh, Divino's gonna smoke on that Robeisy pack. He's gonna be token on that Robeisy pack once again. I don't think. Of course, Robeisy has a puncher's chance, because I just think Robeisy at a disadvantage in a lot of places. Because Divino's that guy, and Divino's gonna do work on him once again. And the first time, you gotta understand, the first time, which was harder, he made it. He made it through. Divino, that is. Divino pulled it off. Divino pulled it off in front of his people, the Cuban people in Miami. You know, he made the whole crowd, you know, shush. It was crickets up in that joint. That was really funny, man. Hey, and I can't lie. I thought I didn't know who my paisano Divino was. I just knew he was an undefeated Mexican, a really tall undefeated Mexican. I had never heard of him, and he came out the blue, and he stunned Ramirez and got the W. So I'm like, damn, that put him on the map. Became, you know, champ, WBO champ at at 126. at 126, and what happened to Robeisy, the two-time Olympic gold medalist, was defeated. They thought, I'm pretty sure Robeisy and his team, he had a whole bunch of excuses. We got to remember this. Robeisy and his team had a whole bunch of excuses, like some lames. They had a whole bunch of excuses saying that, oh, Robeisy himself said it on, he did an interview with Marco Antonio Barrera that I seen it, and don't quote me, but he was just saying that he had problems. He was he had some pressure because his dad was sick, blah blah blah, and he wasn't mentally there. But it just really backfired on them. He was, him and his team chose an opponent that was undefeated, thinking that it was gonna be easy work. You know what I'm saying? And it backfired on them when that undefeated Mexican was the real deal. And what happened? Divino smoked them. If he wasn't ready, why take a fight? But it's not meant to make excuses, and that's all they were doing. Media, Robeisy, and his team, bunch of losers. So, I mean, that's what gets me to that's what gives me the fire to make these lives. You know what I mean? Because the media, the boxing Cuban media, they just be saying some straight nonsense that's not the truth, and they just be some sore losers, sore losers. So I'm saying, like, yo, they say that their guy Tren Ramirez is such a badass. So why didn't he perform like a badass? You know what I mean? That's what I ask myself. He did not perform like a badass. He's not a badass. He used to be. He used to be a badass. But he not a badass. Hell nah. So Robeisy, in front of his Cuban Miami crowd, was getting pieced up by Divino's 1,000 shots in the whole fight thrown. You know what I mean? So, pieced up Robeisy in front of his crowd. Had him on shush. They couldn't root for nothing. They weren't gonna root for the Mexican, because we know how Cubans feel about Mexicans, man. Oh snap! Yeah, he shut the asses up. He shut them up. I forgot how many punches Divino was throwing, but he was throwing a whole lot of shots, and the Cuban didn't have nothing for Divino. Yes, you can say that he knocked him down. Wow. Before that, before that knockdown, that Tren landed on Divino. Divino already had, like, it was he got knocked down like in the 7th round, 6th or something like that. Divino had won every single round. So of course the crowd went crazy. The crowd went crazy for El Tren once he knocked Divino down. Of course, it would go crazy, because their energy was built up. they weren't letting that energy out since they were forced to be quiet since it wasn't going there. It wasn't going its way for their fighter. You know what I mean? It wasn't. It wasn't going its way for their fighter, and they were forced to, to have their mouth zipped up because they couldn't raw for for their amazing Divino, because Divino was putting them paws on El Tren, putting the paws on El Tren, that Cuban two-time Olympian, the unknown Divino, was putting work on Robeisy. Yeah, the Cubans couldn't cheer for Robeisy. Their mouth was shut. They couldn't, even if they wanted to, their fighter wasn't doing nothing, so they couldn't root for their fighter. Imagine that. You know, a lot of times when a fighter goes to a fighter's backyard for whatever shot the home crowd fighter throws, they're gonna be yelling. They're gonna be yelling for their home crowd fighter. So I mean, they were forced to be quiet. So it is what it is. And Cubans had to be quiet because their fighter was getting pieced up by Mexicano, Michoacano, that is. And I love to see it. I love to see it, man. And it's gonna happen again, but this time in the West Coast. I I don't know who would want to go to Cuba, man. I don't know who would want to do that, but I mean, hey, I'm sure as hell I wouldn't. Bro, they're like eating crumbs of bread out there. Sad, but hey, man, shout out to you. You in here, so. Know what I'm saying? But they're gonna be in the Southwest Arizona, on Mexicano's home turf. And I said before, Divino went to the Cubans' backyard and pieced them up in front of his people. Because a Mexicano's gonna go wherever and take it from you. You know what I mean? It don't matter where. A Mexican's gonna go wherever in the world and do work. And even if he has to die in the ring, that's what Mexicans gonna do. And that's what Divino did, going to a hostile crowd, Cuban crowd in Miami, and snatch the gold from Robeisy. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I would fight both of them. I'd fight anybody, really. I don't give a damn how big you are, heavyweight or not, win, lose or draw. Cause all that matters is not backing down. You feel me? If it's at the same time, then you know I'm gonna have me a friend with me. So, but like I said, if it's a matter of life and death, then yeah, fuck it. cause I ain't got a I ain't got a bone in my body that's scared of anything really. So, and they're human, just I am, man. They're human. Both of them are human. So scared of nothing, boy. But so like I'm saying, Divino goes to Robesi's backyard, wins the first half of the fight on pure volume punching, and just Divino not letting up and letting El Tren Ramirez breathe, just piecing him up, and until El Tren, lands that crazy hook, I believe it was. Man, I don't even remember. But he landed something and down goes Divino. And it looked crazy. It looked crazy. It looked like if the ref really wanted to stop the fight, he probably could have. Should he? Of course not. But since like I'm saying, they were in El Tren's backyard in Miami, full of Cubans, Cuban fighter. Yo, let's end the fight here and give their fighter a win. But I believe that they wanted blood. They wanted blood, and they're like, no, keep the fight going. Now since El Tren dropped them crazy, let El Tren finish it. But that's where they messed up. That's where everybody, even if the ref wanted to continue so Robeisy can go for the kill, it didn't turn out to be that way. So that's what I feel like happened. That they're like, nah, let it continue so Robeisy can get his lick back and get a KO, right? Even though he dropped Divino crazy, he dropped him crazy. He was stumbling all over the place, but he got back up like a Mexican do. He got back up, and yeah, that was a round for El Tren. He got back some confidence, and he won a couple rounds, 2 3 rounds, two at most after that, and he was starting to win a little bit more rounds. Then Divino, he handled the pressure well and composed himself, relaxed, and he's like, oh snap, this is real. Okay, he got power for being a little guy. Robesy's like 5'4", 5'3", or something like that. Imagine the crazy difference that it was. Robeisy being 5'3", 5'4" at most, which is really crazy. Divino being 6 feet. So that's a crazy, crazy difference. Crazy difference. And it's crazy how Divino got caught. He got caught, but he likes to fight in the inside. So that's why in the second fight, December 7th, hopefully he, has a better game plan. And doesn't expose himself, because if he leaves his chin open, he's gonna get cracked again. So he better fight from the outside and not leave himself exposed. Because I mean, Robeisy, he's still that, that talented fighter, but I just don't think he can win versus Divino. 9 times out of 10, Divino's gonna smoke him. So, crazy high difference was the problem too, versus versus Divino on El Tren side. And then if El Tren didn't train hard enough for Divino, he's just a lazy fighter. Because I mean, he didn't really look ready. He wasn't cut up. He wasn't looking like a professional fighter should look. And whose fault that is? Only himself to blame. Because why are you not training your fullest for any opponent? You can't underestimate anybody in the sport of boxing. But I'm sure El Tren Ramirez underestimated El Divino Espinoza. You can't underestimate a Michoacano warrior, bro. You just can't do that. You can't underestimate a Michoacano warrior for nothing. And then that's how Divino, like I said, once he was composed and was relaxed after he got knocked down, he went back to his old self. He already had the first fight, the first half of the fight won. So now he had to win a couple more rounds in the second half of the fight, and he won just like he did. And then he drops El Tren Ramirez. I believe it was in the 12th round. So that sealed the deal. And in the whole fight, threw like around 1,000 punches. That just tells you volume. Divino did work in front of them Cubans. Oh, them Cubans were sad as hell, man. They were sad because their god Robeisy got beat. But it wasn't the first time he had been beat. So it's nothing crazy. But being the champion in professional boxing, first time he got beat. So, hey, it happens to the best of them. Just so happened to be that this time the Cuban got defeated by the Michoacano warrior. And yeah, so after the fight, weeks and months, a bunch of excuses. And like I said, that's not of man to make excuses. The Cuban was making a whole bunch of excuses why he lost. Because he didn't take the Mexicans serious enough. Too bad. And he was left embarrassed. He got embarrassed by getting punched in the mouth repeatedly. Sheesh! Imagine that. He was just getting punched in the mouth. He got punched in the mouth like 1,000 times. Cabrón. So, made all type of excuses. And he lost. Fair and square. He didn't do enough. He didn't do enough, so the excuses ain't gonna work. They ain't gonna get you a win versus Divino. And now he made it hard for himself. Cause now he will have to be going to a hostile Mexican backyard. Even though that's not where Divino's from, but us Mexicanos, we're gonna back our fighters no matter where you fight. If that's where, if you go to the West Coast, they're gonna show out. Especially in a fight like this. Yes, sir. We always going to support ours. And like I said, Tren Ramirez has it really hard for himself. It's gonna be a real tough fight. A fight that he's not gonna win. A fight that he's not going to win. And based off the first fight, Divino was going for his first championship fight. Extra prepared. You know, not having the money, you know, to just be extra ready, beyond ready. And now he does. Now he's champion, you know, defended the belt one time. Got more bread. So he should be preparing 1,000% more than the first time. So, and trust me, Divino's humble. He's Michoacano, of course. Michoacanos are humble most of the times, but we got everybody just like everybody, you know, all type of people. But as I can tell, Divino's humble, and he's gonna work his ass off. And one thing I'll tell you about a Michoacano, we work. We work. So, in the fighting game, you better try to knock Divino out, because there's no way he's gonna lose. I'll tell you that. So, I'm sorry para los cubanos, pero esta victoria va a pertenecer a Divino Espinoza, el guerrero mexicano, Purepecha warrior, baby. Yes, so not even the Aztecs can rock with the Purepechas, bruh. You know what I'm saying? The Aztecs couldn't even beat the Purepechas, because the Michoacanos put in work on their ass too. Hell yeah, I'm Mexican, dog. All day. So, I don't know how long you've been in this thing, but, I mean in this live, but I've been saying, homie. That Cuban ain't got ish for the Mexican warrior. I don't consider myself Latino, man. I consider myself Mexican, because that's what I am. People can try to classify me as that, but I'm a native Mexican, homie. That's what I am. I'm a native Mexican. You know, Mexican from the south of Mexico. You could say all the way to Colorado, to California, Washington, Arizona, whatever. But that's one thing I am. Mexican American. Because where we at? The American continent, so. So yes, but like I was saying, the Cuban will get defeated once again, December 7th. The Cuban, two-time Olympic gold medalist, doesn't have it for the boy Divino Espinoza. And if you watch the fight, you will see Divino's just different. You know, going from an unknown Mexican fighter to a champion. So, I mean, I'm not gonna be surprised because I know who's gonna win. Divino's gonna piece up the Cuban once again. So, I mean, everybody can have their opinion, obviously, but I mean that's just mine. From what I can see of both fighters, that's who I got. That's who I got winning. And I'm pretty sure El Tren Ramirez is gonna be spooked. You know, he wasn't too spooked when he was in his backyard. You know, he was feeling it. He was in his backyard thinking it was gonna be easy work. He was gonna give his crowd exciting KO, but no, it did not go that way. It did not go that way. And it's just gonna go Divino's way once again. Victory for the Mexicano. You know, in the West Coast, Southwest. So yes, I'm gonna switch it up. So Morel y Benavidez, yo lo tengo así. Yo lo tengo 60 Benavidez, 40 Morel. Yo, Khabib, come on now, bro. Khabib was fighting at 155 compared to John Jones heavyweight. So, yo así lo tengo. Con el porcentaje que gane de Benavidez 60% a 40 de Morel. Y por la competición que ha enfrentado Benavidez en contra de Morel. Morel no se ha enfrentado con los mejores y nada. Teniendo 11 peleas, sí tuvo un amateur record chingón, pero en el profesional no ha hecho nada. Bro, even in a street fight, you're crazy to even compare him. John Jones beats him up, bro. Y está bien, pero fe en qué sentido, porque la verdad no se ha enfrentado a nadie y tiene mucho en contra, la verdad. En mi opinión, Morel contra Benavidez. El Benavidez ha enfrentado uno de los mejores, varios de los mejores, mejor competición, tira mucho, tiene volumen de, uh, de puños que va a tirar. Y sí lo han tumbado, pero obvio eso fue muy anterior en su carrera, entonces ha mejorado. Tiene Benavidez tiene la ventaja de ser más pesado en el día de la pelea. Y Morel tiene mucho en contra. Pero sí, pero tienes que acordarte que Benavidez ha sido un heavyweight desde que tenía como 11 años. So, eso es mucha disciplina que ya en ser adulto se pueda bajar a los pesos bajos y no lo puede disculpar. Si lo puede hacer es que tiene la disciplina. Sí, es que muchos pueden decir, oh, tiene muchas ventajas, pero pues, de eso se trata el boxeo, you know? Tienes que tener ventajas y por eso el que tiene más ventajas es el mejor. Por algo, obvio que los peleadores que se enfrentan siempre van a ser dos, ¿verdad? Entonces uno va a siempre tener la ventaja de tener más talento que el otro. Ya si lo sabe utilizar, ya será su problema o no, pero siempre es así. Entonces, para mí, Morel es un peleador fuerte y bueno, pero cuando peleas contra oposición muy baja, obvio que te vas a ver como un matón. Pero cuando peleas con los que están tu mismo nivel, ahí es donde se va a ver si eres el mero mero y no lo ha hecho. Entonces yo no puedo decir que va a ganar Morel porque yo no he mirado eso de él. Y yo sí he mirado que Benavidez cuando enfrenta a los que entran al ring con él, que son peleadores no los elite, pero los mejores de su división donde está peleando. Entonces él ha hecho su trabajo y las ha ganado muy bien. Entonces, y contra campeones o ex campeones, y Morel no lo ha hecho. Entonces, yo no puedo decir que Morel va a ganar porque yo no lo veo. Morel sí se ve físicamente mejor que Benavidez, pero si has estado estudiando el boxeo, tú sabes que lo físico no tiene nada que ver. Muchas veces ah, están como los peleadores que enfrentan a Benavidez, muchas veces está mucho mejor los oponentes físicamente mejor que Benavidez. ¿Y qué es lo que pasa? Igual les va muy mal. O otro ejemplo como a un peleador como Mikey García. Nunca se miraba que estuviera en forma porque no estaba marcado, pero ¿qué es lo que hacía Mikey García? Siempre ganaba. Y él no tenía un físico así que digas bien marcado. Pero en el boxeo no ocupas tener el mejor cuerpo, ocupas tener técnica, corazón y las ganas de ganar para poder sobresalir. Y si no lo tienes, pues nomás no importa el físico que tengas. Exacto. Entonces, y luego no se diga como García, am, nació en una familia boxística, pues tenía una de las ventajas. Entonces, ¿me entiendes? Y yo veo cómo la gente va a decir, no, pues yo veo a X peleador ganando. Porque todos tenemos nuestra opinión y todo depende a cómo mires al boxeador que tú quieres que gane. Puede ser porque te cae mal el otro peleador X, o así, ¿verdad? Pero a veces, a veces yo sé que va a perder un peleador. Pero yo digo, no, yo no le voy a ir al otro porque pues igual X, ¿verdad? Yo voy a ir yo voy a irle al peleador que yo quiero que gane porque soy fan, aunque vaya a perder. Yo soy así pues, pero hay muchas otras personas, por eso tenemos nuestra opinión de quién crees que va a ganar y está bien. Pero igual el que soy fanático, a veces puedo decir, yo le voy a ir a X peleador, aunque yo sé que el otro va a ganar, pero pues de todos modos, una pegada puede cambiar la pelea. Entonces, pues hasta que no se acabe, ¿verdad? Puede decir, no, pues igual yo sabía que iba a perder, pero pues, igual yo voy a ir con mi peleador que soy fan. Ah, se entiende, pero la verdad yo creo que muchos van a ver que Morel no puede competir con Benavidez. Muchos dicen que es 50 y 50, pero no, yo creo que es 60-40 para Benavidez. Eso sí, ojalá y se ponga buena la pelea. De que va a estar buena, va a estar buena. Eso te lo aseguro. Esa pelea va a estar buena, porque va a estar buena. Y fíjate, una de las cosas que yo creo de Morel, cuando se llega a la pelea, muchas veces trae mucho músculo. Y se ve que no tiene el tanque de gas para, para tener alejado o a distancia a alguien como Benavidez que tira un chingo de puño. Entonces, si pones eso en pensar que, bueno, el Morel tiene mucho músculo y qué es lo que requiere el músculo, mucho oxígeno. Entonces, si anda muy muscular, se va a cansar más rápido. Y a eso, ¿a quién le conviene? Pues a Benavidez. Ahí Benavidez, como él tira mucho, no va a dejar de tirar. Y ya si Morel se cansa, pues lo va a noquear Benavidez. Es como yo lo veo, pues. Y si no se cansa es porque tuvo un entrenamiento bien y trabajó. Pero yo en las peleas que he mirado, no tiene como el tanque de gasolina que debería. Y como para pelear a alguien como con Benavidez, pues ocupas un tanque de un, de un pinche tráiler para poder seguir, porque si no, Benavidez lo va a ahogar y es lo que va a pasar. El cubano se va a ahogar y pues, victoria para el mexicano. Igual como el Divino, allí va a ser otra victoria para el boxeo mexicano, como lo quieras ver. Me cala que dicen que Benavidez, sí, él es su mamá es ecuatoriana, pero tratan de cambiarle porque no quieren ver que un mexicano esté en la cima, que un mexicano sea tan bueno y le traten de poner otra nacionalidad. Él desde que empezó ha dicho que es México-americano, entonces ahora que anda en la cima y está llegando ahí, que es muy bueno, traten de ponerle otra nacionalidad, pero él es México-americano, aunque le duela a muchos, es lo que es. Entonces, a la gente le cala que un mexicano está haciendo cosas así y no les gusta ver eso, pero están locos. Sí la tiene difícil Morel, pero Benavidez no ha noqueado a sus últimos oponentes y se mira muy grande en comparación a ellos. Sí, pero es que no ocupa noquear a todos y no se puede noquear a todos. Am, lo que Benavidez hace está más cabrón porque les pone una paliza. Imagínate, les va más mejor a los que noquean que a los que se quedan todos los rounds, los 12 rounds asaltos y asalten al oponente. Entonces, si Benavidez le pone la paliza que yo creo que le va a poner a Morel, le va a ir peor en su carrera a que lo noqueen. Todo depende a lo que dure Morel. Entonces, pues Morel sí la va a tener muy difícil, pero va a ser derrotado. Entonces, yo no lo veo de otra manera. La verdad, como te digo, una pelea muy, muy difícil. Yo nunca pensé que Morel fuera a un riesgo para ni Canelo ni para Benavidez, mucho menos Benavidez. Pero bueno, lo bueno que nos dieron esa pelea y Benavidez va a seguir demostrando por qué él es uno de los mejores en esas divisiones grandes. Y no veo a Benavidez perdiendo ningún tiempo en el futuro. Pero sí, esa pelea la estoy esperando con muchas ansias también, porque va a estar bien. bien explosiva. Bien explosiva. No puedo esperar para esa pelea. Va a estar muy, muy nice. Y igual el boxeo mexicano va a seguir enseñando porque es una de las mejores. Ahorita con México americanos hay como y mexicanos hay como 14, 15 campeones del mundo. Si fuera nomás en una categoría, México estuviera en número uno porque tantos campeones que tiene, pero así siempre ha sido, siempre tenemos varios campeones y es chingón. Ahí se enseña que los mexicanos somos guerreros de verdad. Y pues nosotros somos los representantes del habla español en el mundo del boxeo. Porque, pues, como lo acabo de decir, 14, 15 campeones, no más. México, americanos, mexicanos. Muchas otras nacionalidades tienen 2, 3 campeones. Oh, se sienten mucho, pero la verdad, México y México americano siempre hay de 6 campeones. Entonces, eso no es nada nuevo para uno, pues. Pero, y luego que dices, pues, que Benavidez siempre está muy grande, pero como te digo, él ha sido un heavyweight como de los 11 años. Entonces, muchos dicen, como tú, pues, dices que es muy grande, sí, es grande, pero es disciplinado porque, pues, para bajarse, imagínate de los 11, 12 años, pesar más de 200 libras y siempre mantenerte en un peso que no era tu peso regular, siempre en las 168, 65. De todos modos, es difícil ser disciplinado. Y sea como sea, sí ha tenido sus tiempos malos que no ha hecho el peso, pero pues también está cabrón siempre mantenerte pues al 100, pero tienes que ser muy muy disciplinado y pues la verdad el Benavidez sí es disciplinado a como se ve. Entonces, por eso sí, siempre va a estar más grande que sus oponentes, pero ¿qué puede hacer? ¿Qué puedes hacer? Esa es una de sus ventajas que él tiene, pero es disciplinado. Muchos boxeadores no pelean en la categoría que deberían estar, pero si puedes hacer el peso, si te matas en hacer el peso, pues ya es tu problema, pero también tiene su ventaja. So yeah, I was just telling, letting it be known about Benavidez Morel that Benavidez is gonna do work on that fight. Morel's too inexperienced for Benavidez. Too inexperienced and I see Benavidez being victorious in that fight. Know what I mean? And depending if somebody else, leaves a comment on it, we can go on it. But the other one I haven't got to is Oscar Valdez versus Navarette. A rematch. A rematch that I think Navarette is gonna win again. Valdez, was good, but I think his time has has expired. I mean, I'm pretty sure he can prove me wrong, cause I mean that's all they do. That's what they live for, right? Just be in the gym working out, and but these wars, Valdez has been in a couple wars, and that's what that's what Navarette versus himself is gonna be, another war. Even though I feel like Oscar Valdez, Navarette is really good, even though he's sloppy at like most of the time. But being from the pedigree that Valdez been at, I feel like Valdez, should have won the first fight. But then again, Navarrete has shown to be, a legend himself, becoming 3 division champion. I believe unless he's already 4, I forgot if he is. But the fight he lost, I believe that was the fight that he was trying to become a 4 division champ. So you know, I think Navarrete's gonna win again, but I wouldn't be surprised if Valdez wins. That would just show that he's in the gym, bettering himself, and Eddie came up with a good game plan. But I have Navarrete winning that. I think Navarrete's just bigger than him and has more power. He has a crazy fist. So to be getting hit with them things, them hammers, it's gotta be crazy. But I mean that rematch is alright, even though I know who's gonna win as well. Like, pretty sure Navarrete's gonna win, and we'll see where he goes from there. Move up. I haven't really been looking into them too. These fights, since they're not as big, they just announce them up like randomly and be like, okay, it's going down like a month away. So, and they just be getting here quick, and I don't be having a lot of time even to be like making lives or just making videos in general, because I just be lazy, man. Like, and even though like I be making videos here and there weekly, it just be slipping by because life be going on. So I mean, and it's all right fight. The fight I really want to see though is the one I was just talking about before I started talking about Benavidez Morel, like Divino versus the Cuban cat, El Tren. That's what I'm really hyped about. Obviously, I'm really more hyped about Morel versus Benavidez, but we still have time for that, and I'll be talking a whole lot about that fight. But today was the first day I talked about that fight in Spanish, but I'll be talking about that fight a whole lot more. Uh, but this this live was really more about Divino versus El Tren, and I did talk about it quite a bit. Oscar Valdez, I just feel like he has got into too many wars, and I think his time passed, and is gonna be that time for Navarrete to elevate, beat up Oscar Valdez a bit more and keep it moving to bigger and better things. I'm pretty sure Navarrete's gonna become a 5-time division champion. I'm pretty sure. I just feel like he is, unless he's really not feeling no more. But I'm pretty sure he's gonna do it. And the dude looks to be weighing a lot more than these fighters that he's facing. So um, I'm pretty sure he might. Once he tries to become the 4th division champion or 5th, I'm not. I forgot, man, if he's already a 4. But I think he's still a 3. And if he's a 4, he's going to try to become the 5-time division champion. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure he's going to accomplish it. But that's a banger of a fight, too. And I'm going to be, if I'm not doing nothing, I'm for sure going to be making a video, live video reaction on that. Commentating on that. So if you ain't got nothing to do as well, you can slide through the channel and watch. Well, really just hear it with me, cause I mean I can't show it, so I'm just be commentating on it and get my point of view on it. So that's what I'll be doing on that card that day, December 7th. Be sure to check it out. If yes, that card is gonna be a banger. If you're into action type fights, that's a card you need to check out. So, cause it's gonna be a banger. And I'm sure you don't want to miss that. Cause I'm sure as hell not missing that. I'll be tuned in 100%. So yes, especially for I don't know if who's gonna be first, who's gonna be co-main, but the fight I know I ain't gonna miss is the Divino versus Robeisy fight. That's mandatory. But that's all I got for y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? If you came through, shout out to you. Shout out everybody that was rocking with me this live. And just be tuned, man. Tune in when that live you see that notification of Tony Bucks, the my Woxel, because we're gonna be talking some real ish boxing and my point of view on it. And I know a thing or two about it, so you can get a good opinion. You know what I'm saying? But I pretty much covered it. No one really commented anymore, so I think that's gonna be that. Be sure to catch the rest of the lives next weekend. Maybe during the week I might make another live on speaking on the Morel and David Benavidez fight. Just to we excited for that fight, so we gonna be talking our ish on that. And yeah, man. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Till next time, yes, sir.